Hello everyone, I all hope you had a very wonderful day and a very beautiful day indeed, guys. I all hope you enjoyed yesterday's episode. Today's episode is about Dark Witch Boy, who is a very powerful, ancient, evil entity that has lived for many centuries. He's a high-ranking member of a sacred ancient society, of a sacred ancient secret society of supervillains known as the Founders, with the goal of ruling and conquering many worlds across the known universe and as well throughout the sacred world and throughout the sacred universe itself. And literally by controlling planet Earth and the rest of humanity in the process of that goal and that mission. So let's exactly get to it. Dark Witch Boy has lived for many centuries. He has lived for many centuries ago. During within those centuries, Dark Witch Boy began starting a war against the Four Nation Hunters, who were quietly eager to put a stop to his raging capacity, to his rampaging after he destroyed many magical villages and many magical worlds with his dark magic and dark abilities. At that time, the Four Nation Hunters were eager to take him down, but Dark Witch Boy secretly took down the Four Nation Hunters by demonstrating his power and as well as his dark magic to the Four Nation Hunters, exactly showing that he's more powerful and more ancient than anything else they've ever encountered. On that serious note, the Four Nation Hunters decided not to exactly wage war with Dark Witch Boy, rather to not exactly fight him, realizing that he's too immortal and too powerful and too deadly, and that he's a very powerful, ancient, evil entity that has existed for many centuries and for many millennia. That fighting with him will be a very big mistake and a very huge mistake that the Four Nation Hunters quietly learned by encountering with Dark Witch Boy. Dark Witch Boy made a very powerful bargaining with the Four Nation Hunters, or rather, a sacred a sacred pact that he will not exactly destroy any other magical worlds and any other magical villages, or rather harm the inhabitants of the other magical worlds, or the inhabitants of the magical worlds and magical planets of the other civilizations throughout the magic universe and throughout the magic dimension, as part of his deal with the Four Nation Hunters. The Four Nation Hunters quietly agreed to the deal and quietly agreed to the truth that Dark Witch Boy will not exactly harm or hurt any other magical creatures or any other magical beings throughout the sacred world and throughout the sacred world and throughout the sacred universe, and as well throughout the magic dimension and throughout the magical universe. That was exactly part of the deal and part of the truce that the Four Nation Hunters and Dark Witch Boy were able to form at that time. The truce was quietly made at a heavy cost, guys. At a heavy cost. It came at the very much of a huge cost when both sides were forced to exactly come to realization that Dark Witch Boy is too powerful, and the Four Nation Hunters realized that their powers and their tactics were not exactly at work. They decided to form a truce with the most powerful entity, with the most powerful ancient entity that has existed for millennia and for many centuries to come. At that time, Dark Witch Boy teleported himself out and exactly went on another series, on another mission in order to demonstrate his power and his dark magic. He started waging war with the dark magic users known as the Seconds, a group of dark magic users that served the Shadow Empire. The group of dark magic users that serve the Shadow Empire with their abilities and power in harvesting shadow energy and magical abilities. In doing so, Dark Witch Boy launches dark magical powers and abilities at the seconds, and able to exactly decimating the seconds, able to exactly decimate the seconds. Some of the other seconds decided to exactly wage war with Dark Witch Boy, demonstrating and seeing that he's more powerful than they are, and more invincible and more indestructible than they are. They decided, in order to teleport themselves and exactly leave the experiment notation behind, where Dark Witch Boy was purposely able to manipulate the experiment notation and the dark magic and the science combined by the seconds with a powerful machine, able to successfully harness the shadow energy and all the power for himself in order to become more powerful. He combined the shadow energy and also the magical energies and ability into himself, making him more powerful, more deadly, and more indestructible and more immortal than any living thing has able to live. Dark Witch Boy became more powerful and became a power-hungry witch, obsessed with power and obsessed with more power and obsessed with more dark magic and more dark abilities. During at that time, the Dark King, the ancient supervillain known as the Dark King, was able to arrive to Dark Witch Boy, able to offer him a proposition that he cannot refuse, in telling him that he needs to join his ancient secret organization known as the Founders, with the goal to conquering unknown worlds and known civilizations and controlling the known universe and the sacred world and the sacred universe. For he will exactly benefit from that. Dark Witch Boy quickly rose his body and quickly shake hands with the Dark King and say that he accepts by becoming the next member of his secret society of supervillains known as the Founders. That by doing so, they were officially partners, and the Dark King was officially impressed that he made a deal and made a proposition with the most powerful dark entity ever existed throughout the rest of sacred history, known as Dark Witch Boy. At that time, Dark Witch Boy was quietly pleased that he'll be able to assist the Dark King with his few of his experiments and his greatest achievements and his goals in controlling humanity and controlling the sacred world and manipulating the war to his advantage in order to further his ultimate goal and his ultimate plans. In doing so, the Dark King summoned Dark Witch Boy at the time in order to participate with the experiments to participate with the experiments of shadow energy, which Dark Witch Boy was able to participate with the experiments of shadow energy by combining shadow energy with dark magic and creating powerful destructive devices and destructive technology as part of the deal. And the Dark King was quietly pleased and superly amazed that Dark Witch Boy officially rose to the ranks, that his expertise in dark magic and also in dark science will be very, very useful and very, very valuable. Centuries later, since Dark Witch Boy remained laying low, centuries later, since Witch Boy remained laying low and becoming a high-ranking member of an ancient secret society of supervillains of an organization, a secret criminal organization of secret society of supervillains known as the Founders. He was able to join them and was able to exactly be present at an audience on the 1st of January, when one of the Dark Druids exactly delivered news that the Universal Heroes were able to liberate worlds and planets from the grasp of the original normal magic. The Dark King exactly stated that the Universal Heroes are growing too powerful, meaning they will pose a threat to the operation and as well to their missions. And as well as Mr. X stating that everything else will fall accordingly into place, stated exactly as Mr. X exactly said it before. At that time, Ghostmaster delivered a canister of shadow energy, stating that this was the only vial that was able to deliver, and stating that with the interference of the Universal Heroes, stating that the abilities are becoming quietly too powerful and quietly too deadly. And the Dark Grey exactly stated that the Universal Heroes interference is now an enemy action that needs to be considered as an effective threat to the operation and as well to their goals. They have to be effectively removed out of the way, meaning completely out of the way. During at that time, Master Power exactly received audience with the members of the founders on the 2nd of February, stating that the Universal Heroes were able to destroy all the experiments and the rest of the data and all the intelligence that were able to gather. But in doing so, they couldn't exactly recover all the information and the rest of the vast network of information that were unable to exactly recover due to the interference of the Universal Heroes. Master Born exactly stated that everything else is going accordingly to plan the way it was supposed to do. On the 2nd of February, Blackspot was able to inform the members of the founders, stating that due to the interference of the Water Years On, he wasn't successfully able to recover the crystal or any of his survival intakes due to the interference of the Water Heroes were able to exactly thwart his operation in extracting the crystal. But in doing so, Dark Grey exactly stated that everything else is going accordingly to plan the way it was meant to go. One of the High Brothers, known as Mind Brother, was able to make audience with the members of the founders on the 13th of February, stating that due to the interference of Mind Girl and the rest of Warboy, they were able to literally conjure up the experiments, able to speed up its research and the rest of its philosophy, able to exactly accept the technology and the rest of its work. Queen Ivy stated that the experiment is exactly going the way it's supposed to be, meaning that they're receiving more destructive technology and more shipments of powerful technology from their new partner, stating that they will be easily able to overpower Warboy and Mind Girl and the rest of the Universal Heroes. Mind Brother was successfully pleased and very, very quietly happy with this development. On the 13th, on the 13th of March, Queen Dark Witch Boy was quietly present with the members of the founders as they were able to watch a footage of the Shadow Empire, watching a footage of the Shadow Empire warlords and the battle cruisers destroying and fighting against the Galactic Coalition. And the Dark King stated that even now, the secret society will still operate in full secrecy, meaning that the founders will continue operating without suspicion and that they will fully be taking their rightful places at the center of the cosmos, becoming the rightful rulers of the known universe, and by manipulating the war to their advantage, and stated that the order of darkness will still exactly protect them and will still exactly work in their favor, as they will still exactly operate with full secrecy, as Dark Whisper was quietly present with the members of the Founders, as hearing the Dark King's view over the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders, and they test of the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders battle cruisers, destroying against intergalactic coalition, stating that even if even so, the Order of Darkness will still conceal the Founders within the shadows, meaning, in other words, they will still working within the shadows and operating within full secrecy, as in within a new ancient secret society of supervillains. During at that time, Dark Witchboard began a powerful ritual by using a dark crystal on the 1st of March in order to manipulate the war to his advantage, in order to gain more power and seize more power than before. He summoned four powerful dark druid. So he summoned four powerful dark magic users: a dark druid, a dark faithful, a dark witch, a dark sorcerer as well. He summoned them in order to manipulate the war to their advantage, and to seize more power and more control than anything else ever. In doing so, Universal Magica was well aware that the power balance has quietly shifted in a rather close situation, and realizing that there's a dark magical force that's quietly highly awake and quietly at work, and they have to exactly find it and neutralize it as soon as possible. Magic Man and Universal Girl and the Universal Magic Heroes and the rest of the Universal Heroes United Heroes were able to arrive at the island, were able to arrive at the dead island, able to encounter Dark Witch Boy and the Dark Magic users, were able to conjure and manipulate, and by manipulating the event of the war into their full advantage. Universal Magic was able to use her magical powers and ability to battle against Dark Witch Boy, as well as Magic Man were able to continue to fighting against him. Dark Witch Boy proved to be too powerful against him, but Magic Man used his full magical powers and ability to quickly neutralize him, and was quietly neutralized, as well as the other dark sorcerers, as well the other dark magic users were quietly neutralized. Dark Witch Boy congratulated the Universal Heroes and United Heroes, stating that they did a well done job, and everything else was quietly in place. He was able to open up a portal, and was able to quickly teleport himself straightly through that portal, through an unknown dimension, and was quickly able to teleport. Dark Witch Boy even attended a video conference of the founders, stating that his plan exactly worked the way it was supposed to work, and that everything else is rightfully in order the way it was meant to be in order. Silverface exactly was statedly proud that Dark Witch Boy's instruction was able to work, and was quietly able to work enough time for his operatives in order to extract the crystal, seeing that it was quietly regenerated since the blast of it, and was quietly able to make a full impact. Dark Wishbow was quietly pleased that his destruction worked long enough in order for the operatives of the founders to extract the crystal, to stealing the crystal, and also to bringing it back straightly into the base. The mercenary known as Ghostmaster brought in Professor Dark, and Dark Wishbow wasn't quietly pleased of what the mercenary brought, but instead he was quietly happy that he could exactly do well with his abilities and with his capacity on the 5th on the 6th of March exactly at that time. During at that time, Ghostmaster brought the equipment and everything else in order for his associates to continue the experiments. Dark Witch Boy exactly launched his full dark magic power at the crystal, able to activate the crystal's power and energy, turning it into a nanotech crystal that can able to become a crystal tech controlling chip at that time, exactly in order to exactly controlling it. When Firebird quietly stormed in and told the villains to exactly stand down in order to remain still, Dark Witch Boy completely compliant, stating that why should they exactly waste their new power, testing a new power on a superhero, when they should exactly comply with what exactly stated. In doing so, he turned all the other present villains and then facilitated the escape by leaving statues of rocks of themselves, in which were completely able to escape during at that time. On the excuse me, on the 20th of March, Dark Witch Boy was quietly present with Dark Grey and the Dark King, controlling the Formation onto console, and mind controlling the Formation onto console at the deck of the asteroid base, at the deck of the United Heroes asteroid base, able to exactly order them to to purposely kill the Universal Heroes and to purposely wipe them out completely, which the Phoenician Hunters were unsuccessful, which the Phoenician Hunter Council were unsuccessful, as the Dark King and Dark Grey were quickly boasting about their motives and about their mission, as Dark Witch was able to purposely told him that the Universal Heroes were able to breach inside the tower, inside the United Heroes asteroid base of the tower, meaning that they have to effectively to remove out of the way, and they have to be effectively removed and killed out of the way effective immediately. As a Dark Grey, as Dark Grey was able to say that the heroes are becoming too powerful. Dark Witchbolt wanted to kill the Universal Heroes here and there, but the Dark King stated that his power will be too great in order to destroy this asteroid base, meaning that they still needed to be actively alive for phase 2 and for phase 3 as of the plans of the founders. Dark Witch Boy said that the irony will be too good in order not to destroy this asteroid base of the United Heroes, but as well the damage was quietly done. The Dark Witch Boy was able to successfully able to teleport him and the Dark King and Dark Grey away. Dark Witch Boy was quietly present at a conference held by the Dark King held by the Dark King and held by the Dark King held by the Dark King with held by the Dark King held by the Dark King at that time on the 1st of April, stating to welcoming Blacksport into their ranks, meaning that his good job was quietly done. Dark Witch Boy was quietly summoned by Blacksport with the members of the founders on the second of April, able to successfully welcome his brother into the group, saying that he done a very well good job and a very well good mission and a very well standing mission and a very good job to the rest of the group, meaning that everything else is in order. As Master Bond was able to quickly welcoming Blacksport's brother into the group, stating that it is rightfully time for him to exactly meet their partner, to exactly meet their long-term partner, and exactly able to exactly meet it once and for all. Dark Witch Boy was quietly present in an audience when Ghostmaster was previously able to assassinate Blacksport and was able to quickly to replace by the new enforcer of the founders known as Windmaster, when Ghostmaster was quickly replaced and was able to escape through the mountain of the cave, and was able to successfully fire away during at the time on the 16th of April, on the no no not on the 16th of April, on the 20 on the 21 on the 23rd of March at that time exactly. During at that time, Dark Witch Boy was quietly present with the members of the founders in an ancient temple, as I was speaking about the operation with weakening the Hobbykin Corp before it seizes more control of the known universe and controlling the rest of Sacred Society, meaning that Dark Grey was quietly impressed that everything else is falling accordingly to order. Dark Witch Boy was able to open up a portal straightly into the battle cruisers, allowing Dark Grey to successfully seize control of the battle cruisers, seizing control of the battle cruisers of the battle cruisers of the Shadow Empire, so that the Dark Grey can exactly seize control of it, and which was able to teleport the gods of the Hobbykin Corp straightly away into open space, where they were able to fighting straightly into open space. Dark Witch Boy and Dark Grey successfully created a holographic, and the Dark King successfully created a holographic message to the galaxy and to the known universe, threatening every alien race, stating that the sacred world and the sacred universe are off limits to any alien incursion or invasion. Otherwise, at least Minister will be delivered with a full punishment and will be dealt with a full retribution of facing the Dark King and the Dark Grey's worth. And a minute later, a huge battle cruiser flew closely to the planets. On the 1st of May, flew closely to the planets as he was showing his power and capacity and his fleet, as he was showing his power and his capacity and his fleet to all aliens, showing that he's more powerful and more deadly than ever, that the sacred world and the sacred universe must not be touched by any alien incursion or invasion by any means that's there. Dark Witch Boy was able to attend a meeting of the founders on the 1st of June to discuss the operations, hearing the news of the raw magic was quietly facing the demise of the Universal Heroes. The Dark King stated that now it's time in order to remove the Universal Heroes once and for all. the Dark Witch was able to reconvene with the members of the Founders again, hearing the operation that the Universal Heroes are secretly coordinating with the United Heroes and with the World Heroes and with the Universal Defenders and with the Universal Space Heroes and with the Universal Water Heroes and the Universal Magic Heroes and the Intergalactic Coalition, meaning that these heroes cannot exactly be underestimated. Dark Witch was able to conduct a supernatural experiment on a superhuman on the on the on the on the on the 23rd of June, able to exactly releasing his dark magic in order to activate her super gene and her superpowers, and he was quietly unhappy that he was able to create a monster. When he saw the world heroes arriving, he was able to order the monster to destroy them due to the intervention of Universal Magical by using her full magical powers and ability in destroying the monster and in setting the superhuman children free. Dark Witch was quietly unpleased that he was able to challenge Universal Magical into a magical duel, but Universal Magical was quickly able to teleport Dark Witch Boy and herself straightly into the magical tower, where Dark Witch was able to quickly teleport himself and was able to quickly banish himself straightly. Dark Witch was able to attend a video conference of the Founders, of the Founders, hearing the news of the Universal Heroes on the 1st of July, stating that the Universal Heroes Squad, they did a very good job liberating all worlds and all planets from the Shadow Empire and from the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders, stating that there's a new little magic operating within the shadows, and his new secret society is about to take control of the Shadow Empire, leading into a full operation that can exactly either exterminate and wipe out the supernaturals and the aliens of the sacred world and of the sacred universe. The Dark King exactly told the Dark Grey that the operation is exactly the way it was supposed to be, meaning everything else is falling into place the way it was meant to be. Dark Witch was quite present at a video conference on the 3rd of July, seeing the news of Werewolf Woman, stating that everything else of the supervillains have been doing in public has been a disgrace to the rest of humanity, and that all their actions have to be taken down effective immediately, and disgracing Mr. X and Mr. Fox, stating that they're the criminals of the world and that they have to be taken down. Silverface exactly stated to the members of the Founders that they should exactly move forward with the next phase of their plan. Darkrai was able to successfully agree with that. Darkrai was able to be teleported out by teleport open. Dark Witch was able to open up a portal straightly to the Shadow Empire's throne room at the time, in order to make a deal and a secret pact with Red Bolt and his ancient secret society of supervillains, that now that Red Bolt is now taking control of the Shadow Empire, is now the leader of the Shadow Empire. Darkrai said that it's time that they exactly form an alliance that could easily benefit them all, and Dark Witch was quietly present. Red Bolt exactly agreed that this alliance will work in 2 stages. The Founders will exactly take control of the galaxy, ruling the known universe and controlling humanity in the process, while the Shadow Empire will control the galaxy and the sacred universe and the sacred world, and stating that the sacred world and the sacred universe will ever be in the control of the Founders, and will ever be ruled by the Founders and the Dark King and the Dark Grey. And Dark Grey exactly made a proposition to Red Bolt, stating that the Shadow Empire can exactly rule the universe, conquer the known universe, remaining its dominant stature, as long as the newly little magic doesn't exactly remain in power for too long, as stated. And Red Bolt was quietly pleased of that and was very quietly happy of that, stating that everything else should exactly fall into order, that they will exactly give each other more disorders, exactly continue supplying each other with more destructive technology and more powerful technology as part of the agreement. And Red Bolt was quietly successfully happy with this proposition and as well as this alliance. The Dark Order and the Founders are now officially allies of each other, aiding each other on their respective conquests and their universal domination goals, in making sure that they become the known rulers of the cosmos and of the sacred world and of the sacred universe by any means necessary, and by manipulating their war to their advantage, in controlling humanity and planet Earth to their advantage, in manipulating conflicts, alien wars and conflicts, and conflicts, and manipulating the sacred galactic war to their advantage, in order to controlling the Phoenician hunters and the universal hunters to play into their sinister plans to further their own plans and their own goals. Dark Witch was quite pleased and completely very quietly happy at this, that he'll be seizing more power and more control than ever before. Despite this, guys, Dark Witch Boy is very intelligent, very smart, very perceptive, very powerful, very skilled in dark magic, in transformation, summoning, in teleportation, opening portals and opening portals, the power of possession, mind controlling, flight, and also the power of immortality. He's an immortal witch that has lived for many, many centuries ago, and that makes him the most powerful, ancient, evil entity that the Universal Heroes and the United Heroes and the Intergalactic Coalition have ever encountered throughout their very long ancient life. What Dark Witch Boy and the Four Ancient Hunters made a sacred truce that he won't exactly bother them or exactly attack the magical worlds or the magical planets or the magical civilization of the sacred worlds or the magical worlds or all the magical worlds and the magical dimensions of the sacred world and of the sacred universe. That was quietly part of the deal, and that was quietly part of the truce that the Four Nation Hunters will not exactly engage Dark Witch Boy or exactly ever attack him again. That truce came at the huge, heavy cost, and it came in the huge, heavy cost in fighting Dark Witch Boy, in a process, in neutralizing him, and in stopping him with his goals and his imagination. Despite this, Dark Witch Boy, guys, is very intelligent, very smart, and he's a high-ranking member of a sacred criminal organization known as the Founders, with the goal of ruling, conquering worlds and planets, placing the known universe under their sole control by any means necessary. He's been the member of the Founders for many centuries. He's been a member of the Founders. He's been a high-ranking member of the Founders for many centuries ago. He's reluctantly intelligent and reluctantly smart. He loves power and he loves dark magic. He'll do whatever it takes to get more power and seize more control of dark magic. Despite this, Dark Witch Boy quietly forms alliances with other powerful dark magic users, such as the Dark Druids, the Dark Witches, the Dark Faithful, the Ice Children, the Water Children, and also the Ice Druids and the Ice Witches and the Ice Faithful, and the Water Children and the Water Druids and the Water Faithful and the Water Witches. You'll form an alliance with them in order to becoming the most powerful dark magic user ever existed throughout the rest of sacred history. Throughout the rest of sacred history, Dark Witch Boy is a powerful ancient entity of evil that has existed for many centuries ago, and that cannot be underestimated by anyone. The Four Nation Hunters and have informed the Universal Heroes and the United Heroes and the Intergalactic Coalition that Dark Witch Boy cannot be underestimated. He's powerful, ruthless, and cruel. He cares for no one but his ambition and his goals to the organization and as well to the secret society of supervillains known as the Founders in order to further its goals and its mission and its conquest. He has his own bigger goals in conquering the magical worlds and the magical dimension for his own evil purposes in order to becoming more powerful and to becoming more immortal than anything ever. He'll do whatever it takes to become more powerful and more immortal than ever. He's a power-hungry dark witch who loves more power, who wants more power and more energy in order to become more powerful and more deadly than ever. He has the ability of projecting energy and creating shields and teleportation, opening portals, flight, summoning, possessioning, mind controlling, the ability of creating portals and opening portals, and the ability of teleportation. He's a mastermind. He's a master. He's a dark witch and a good dark witch, and very crafty with dark magic and very skilled in dark magic and in reverse of the dark arts. According to the Universal Magic Heroes, Dark Witch Boy is very reluctantly intelligent and very reluctantly ruthless and very smart and very persistent and very cruel. He will do whatever it takes to make sure that he remains in power and also to empower himself. He cannot be underestimated, guys. Dark Witch Boy is a high-ranking member of an ancient secret society of supervillains known as the Founders. He will do whatever it takes in order to further the secret society's goals and its plans and its missions by manipulating events and wars and conflicts of the sacred world and of the sacred universe in order to further the founders' goals and their mission by any means necessary. And you'll even assist them with their plans and with their various plans and with their various techniques and their mission and as well as their goals by attracting alien attention and alien invasion to the sacred world and to the sacred universe in order to manipulate it, in order to make sure that the sacred universe and the sacred world remain the most dominant, powerful force in the entire known universe by any and all means necessary. He loves the Dark King and Dark Race goals and their mission in conquering worlds and planets and enslaving them under their control, placing them under their control, and he values their ideas and the ideas and their goals and their mission, and he'll do whatever it takes to further the founders' goals and their mission and as well their plans. Dark Witch Boy is a powerful dark magic user who cannot be underestimated. He's lived for many, many centuries, and he is not meant to be underestimated, guys. Not meant to be underestimated. He's a power-hungry supervillain who wants more power and wants more dark magic. He'll do whatever it takes to facilitating and helping other super criminals and supervillains with their goals and with their mission. As long as he benefits from that, he'll be more reluctantly happy to remain in power and also to remain in control of the war and of the sacred world. He'll do whatever it takes to remain in power and to remain in power of the situation of the war, and also to exactly extracting more shadow energy and more power and more magical abilities for himself and also for the organization's ideas and goals and plans. No matter what. Despite this, guys, Dark Witch Boy is not meant to be underestimated. Not meant to be underestimated. Well, guys, that's it for today. I all hope you enjoy this episode, and I all hope you have a wonderful, blessed evening and afternoon. I will see you tomorrow at the exact same time. Have a wonderful day. Love yourself and take care. Bye. Bye.